I had to talk to one of my neighbours recently. Wasn't planning on doing that for sort of ever, really. Gives a cheer if you talk to your neighbours? Gives a cheer if you don't? I had to talk to my neighbour because we share a septic tank. Now, if you don't know what a septic tank is, the fact that my neighbour refers to it as a sewerage tank should give you a good indication of what's in it. I've never seen the septic tank. It's on her side of the fence. I imagine they're in the ground. Is that right? Does anybody know? Yeah, thank you. I didn't know that. So in my mind, I pictured it as like a skip on a drive with a lid on. So when she came round to tell me it was nearly full, because my neighbour's quite little, I pictured her like lifting the lid on her tippy toes. Oh, her IBS is playing up again, Gerald. Push that one back in, it's bobbing out. I do have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. I also have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I like to put those collections of letters at the end of my name and pretend I went to university. So people think that I'm educated rather than regularly shitting my barren self. One of my friends said to me, she said, I can't always tell if you're about to tell me a secret or you're sneaking out a fart. I said, I've got no secrets. All farts. What you do find, though, if you have IBS and you're having a bad bout of IBS, your farts are so horrific that if you do one in a room where there are other people, you don't get the traditional response of people kind of muttering to each other, has somebody just, can you smell? Has somebody just... That's what happens. What happens is somebody puts their hand on your arm and says, are you all right? But I went for a walk a couple of months ago with a friend of mine. Lovely walk we were having, but I had really bad guts that day. Really bad. And I did a fart, and I knew it was a bad one because it was hot. And I thought I'd got away with it. But then my friend sort of looked up and sniffed at the same time. Like a quizzical Bisto kid. And then she looked at me and she went, are we near a zoo? I had piles once, and I think most families have an area of medical expertise, you know, so maybe you've all got bad backs, so you know the tablets to take, the exercises to do, that sort of thing. With my family, it's arseholes. They're lovely people, but wow, they're good with the bowel. And the day that I realised I had piles, I rang my dad, because he's my arsehole phone a friend. And I told him what was going on, and he said, right. And I thought, this is what dads do, isn't it? That's what they say before they fix things. Right. And he went, what you need? Baths as hot as you can stand them, anusol cream on the rest of the time. I said, thank you. And I hung up. I rang him back like 20 minutes later. I said, I'm having some trouble. He said, what kind of trouble are you having? I said, I can't really see what I'm doing. He said, I don't know what you mean. I said, well, I'm not supple enough to do it that way. And I've got too much here to be able to get access through there. And he went, right. And I thought, again, he's going to fix it. And he said, what you need is one of those mirrors that the police use for looking for bombs under cars. The day that I realised I had piles, I was meeting a friend for lunch. And I'm so rubbish at keeping secrets that she'd barely said hello, and I just blurted it out, I've got piles. And her response is the best response you can ever hope for if that happens to you in the future. Because I went, I've got piles. And she went, so have I. And we high-tend and went to the pub.
Hello, I'm Sarah Millican, and thanks very much for watching my videos. I'm going on tour with a brand new show called Bobby Dazzler. For all the information about where I'm going and when, go to sarahmillican.co.uk. Thanks!